Mahigit isang taon na po tayong nasa loob nitong pandemyang ito. At kung ano-ano na pong letra ang ating ika nga narinig mula po sa ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, MGCQ. Nagkaroon pa ng kamakailan yung MECQ tapos naging MECQ Flex. Ngayon po, may bago na naman. GCQ na po ang Metro Manila at ang iba't ibang lugar pa po ng ating bansa. Pero with heightened restrictions. Parang sabon, ano? Parang sabon, pinalakas at pinagaling na GCQ. Meron po lamang, may mga bago pong patakaran. Bagamat tayo po ay nasa GCQ, no? Ayon po sa anunsyo ng pamahalaan. At ang ibig po sabihin yan, may mga ibang pinapayagan na muli na makapagbukas para po matulungan ang ating mga kababayan, ang ating ekonomiya. At kasama na rin po dyan, pagdating sa larangan ng palakasan, ay ang muling paglalaro ng practices ng PBA o ng mga professional sports. Malaking balita po yan dahil marami na pong nag-aabang sa ating mga kupunan. At yan po ang naging balita ngayong linggong ito. GCQ with heightened restrictions. Ang ibig sabihin po, ilang hakbang na lamang, ilang tulog na lamang sana at magsisimula na ang inyong paboritong PBA. So yan po ay ating pag-uusapan ngayong Sabado ng umaga. Dito naman po sa inyong paboritong kasama ng almusal, ang Power and Play. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, mga kapatid. Nagbabalik po ang Power and Play ngayong Sabado ng umaga. Hatid sa inyo ng Big Boss Cement, Big Boss sa Tatag, Big Boss sa Tibay, and of course ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Kinakamusta po natin lahat ng ating mga tagapakinig. Lalong-lalo na ang ating Radyo 5 Taxi Squad. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat na laging nakatutok sa Power and Play and of course sa 92.3 News FM. Kinakamusta natin lahat po ng mga nagbabiyahe, yung mga papunta po sa kanilang mga iba't ibang lugar. Bawal pa rin ang non-essential travel dito po sa GCQ with heightened restrictions. Kaya wag po tayo masyadong nagpapaplano ng mga bakasyon. Hindi pa ho pwedeng lumabas ng NCR plus bubble kung hindi po essential travel o yung APOR po, yung authorized persons outside of their residence. Kinakamusta rin po natin, of course, magandang umaga sa lahat po ng mga nanonood sa atin sa 1PH on Signal TV, yung mga nasa emergency room, dyan po sa SPC Medical Center sa San Pablo City. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. And of course, sa iba't ibang bahagi po ng Kapisayaan, maayong buntag sa inyo po lahat dyan po sa Cebu at sa Davao. And of course, lahat po na nakatutok sa atin at nanonood worldwide sa Canada, dyan po sa area po ng Toronto, sa Hong Kong, and of course sa Middle East sa pamamagitan ng ating Facebook Live on 1PH, on Radyo 5, and of course Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala. At yung pong Noli Iyala YouTube channel. Magandang umaga worldwide. Marami po tayong pag-uusapan ngayong araw na to. Ang dami nating mga panauhin at talaga pong very relevant ang ating mga pag-uusapan mamaya-maya. Pero syempre, sa pagbubukas po ng ating palatuntunan, himayin natin ang mga kaganapan sa mundo ng palakasan dito po sa Sports Highlights this week. Lunes, 8 Pinoy na ang magdadala ng ating bandila sa Tokyo Olympics matapos mag-qualify ang rower na si Cris Nievarez. Nag-qualify si Nievarez sa men's single sculls. Dahil sa Olympic qualification ni Cris, natapos na ang ating 21-year drought sa Olympics sa larangan ng rowing. Maya-maya ay makakausap natin ang ating pinakabagong Olympian. Martes, balita sa NBA, a record they thought would never be broken. Si Russell Westbrook ng Washington Wizards nagtala ng bagong record pagdating sa pinakamaraming triple-doubles sa NBA. Sa kanyang 182 career triple-doubles, nilagpasan na ni Westbrook ang NBA legend na si Oscar Robertson. Martes, din nang magbigay ng sulat si 30 Ravenna sa PBA tungkol sa kanyang kontrata sa Sun and Neo Phoenix sa Japan B-League. Sinabi ni Commissioner Willie Marshall na natanggap nila ang sulat at wala silang aksyon na gagawin tungkol sa kaso ni Ravenna. Matatandaan na uminit ang issue ng draft dodger rule sa PBA dahil sa sitwasyon ni 3D. Mamaya-maya, pupulsuhan po natin yan sa Pulso ng Bayan. Noong Martes, din pumirma ng kontrata sa Zamboanga City, Los Valientes sa Vismin Super Cup ang dating PBA star na si Mac Cardona. Ito ay ang muling pagbabalik basketball ng 39-year-old Cager na si Cardona na dating kampyon sa PBA. Miyerkules, sa boxing naman, hindi pumreno ang Tokyo-bound boxer na si Yumir Marshall tungkol sa kakulangan daw ng financial support para sa kanyang kampanya sa Olimpiada. Pinabulaanan ng ABAP ang mga sinabi ni Marshall pero ang boksingero hindi nagpapatinag. Pag-usapan natin ang issue na yan mamaya-maya lamang sa Fast Take. Miyerkules din ng pangalanan na ang mga miyembro ng national pool para sa women's volleyball at men's volleyball. Pero yung mga absent sa trials gaya nina Eliza Valdez, Kim Fajardo at Gia Morado, hindi daw kasali. Paglilinaw ng volleyball officials, mabibigyan pa rin naman daw sila ng tsansa para maging bahagi ng koponan. At Biyernes, petisyon para kansilahin ang Olympics, umaani ng suporta mula sa mga locals ng Tokyo. Pero ang International Olympic Committee, kumpiyansa na kaya nilang ituloy ang Olympics sa ligtas na pamamaraan. Yan po ang ating sports highlights this week. Alam niyo yung balitang yan sa Tokyo, ha? Kasama na po dyan sa mga naglalabas ng kanilang hinaing ay ang mga tiga-Hapon mismo, ha? Yung pong world #1 tennis player na si Naomi Osaka at yung pong Japan men's #1 na si Kei Nishikori. Sumama na po sa mga boses na nagpapahiwatig ng pagka-concern diyan po sa pagtuloy ng Olimpiada sa Tokyo. At tingnan natin kung anong kalalabsan yan. Pero siyempre tayong lahat dito po, lalong na sa Pilipinas na uhaw na po sa isang gintong medalya, ay patuloy na nagdarasal na matuloy na ang Olimpiada dahil talaga naman pong puspusan ang pag-ensayo at paghahanda ng ating mga Olympians. Well, ang isa pa mong balita na ating narinig this week, of course, na yung pong Gilas pool ay madadagdagan pa ng mas marami pang mga players. Nandyan po si Alvin Bolinati na muling babalik sa Gilas pool. Kinukonsidera na rin yung mga college standouts na kagaya nila Mark Nonoy. And of course, napabalitang si 30 Ravenna ay hindi pa kinakansila o hindi pa ini-exclude dun sa listahan ng Gilas pool. Pero ang mas malaking balita tungkol kay 30, of course, yung ating kaninang binanggit na si 30 po ay nagsubmite ng isang sulat sa PBA para i-explain yung kanyang current situation dun po sa B-League sa Japan. Dahil si 30 po ay pumirma ng multi-year contract dun po sa kanyang koponan sa Japan. At dahil po dyan, muling hindi siya magpapadraft sa PBA. Alam nyo naman po ang PBA, meron po silang inilabas na isang patakaran. Yun po yung tinatawag na draft dodger rule. Ano ba yung draft dodger rule na yan? Yan po ay patakaran na nagpapataw ng posibleng ban. Yung pong bawal magpa-draft ang isang manlalaro na after mag-graduate sa college ng 2 taon at hindi pa nagpapadraft, maaari pong hindi na pahintulutan o i-ban sa liga at hindi na po siya makakapasok doon. Mantakin ninyo yon mga kapatid. Bawal daw po na hindi mag-explain ang isang manlalaro after 2 years na mag-graduate sa college at hindi siya po nagpa-draft. Ngayon, ang tanong, yan ba ho ay dapat ipagpatuloy? Yan po ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong umagang ito. Meron po akong sariling take dyan at mamaya ay aking i-explain. Pero para po sa ating pulso ng bayan, ang tanong po ay, dapat bang ipagpatuloy o ipatigil ito pong rule sa PBA na draft dodger rule? Ito pong pinagbabawal ang hindi pagpasok ng player after 2 years or within the first 2 years pagkatapos po siya gumraduate sa college o maging eligible sa PBA draft. Kung gusto niyo po makilahok sa ating Pulso ng Bayan, mag-text lamang po sa aming hotline 0949-691-4956 o di kaya mag-post sa aming Facebook page sa Power and Play with Noli Iyala, sa 1PH at sa Radyo 592.3 News FM. Mamaya po, babasahin ko ang inyong mga komentaryo. Marami na hong nagpadala sa atin sa pamamagitan ng social media dahil inailabas po natin ito kahapon. At napakarami na pong komentaryo. Mamaya susubukan nating basahin po ito at mapakinggan ang inyong sariling sentimiento tungkol po sa ating pupulsuhan. Dapat bang ipagpatuloy o ipatigil ang draft dodger rule sa PBA? Alright, at this point mga kaibigan, syempre sa ating pagsisimula ng ating Sabado ng umaga, ang ating paboritong Fast Take segment. And of course, sa Fast Take po, ang ating mga kasama, ang ating mga kapatid sa hanap buhay, ang sports media at ang mga bago at mga very energetic na mga miyembro ng sports media. Ngayong araw po ito, tayo po'y mapalad na makakasama natin si Luisa Morales, mga balik fast takers ng Philippine Star, at si Randolph Leongson ng Spin.ph. Good morning, Luisa! Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, Kom po.
Hinihintay natin yung pagpasok ni Randolph. Siyempre, grand entrance yan. Dolph? Luisa, habang hinihintay natin si Randolph, ano ang take mo dun sa draft dodger rule?
I think, Kom, siguro kung wala po kayong, wala kayong active contract sa ibang liga, I think it would be great to, ask na sabihan po kayo na mag-explain bakit kayo hindi nagpapadraft. Pero kung klaro naman po, nakikita naman po na may ginagawa kang iba na basketball-related pa rin at yun nga, may kontrata ka sa ibang professional league, ay baka pwedeng hindi na po natin i-under sila dun sa draft dodger rule.
Alright. Well, alam niyo po, ang draft dodger, ang PBA, unang-una, liwanagin natin. Ang PBA po ay private na organisasyon. Hindi po yun gobyerno, hindi po yan public corporation. Ang PBA po, in fact, is ito hindi alam na marami to, an unincorporated association. Hindi po sila incorporated yan po ay ginawa ni Commissioner Rudy Salud. Noon po na nagsimula ang PBA sa kasama po niya, siya po legal counsel noon, kasama niya si Commissioner Leo Prieto. It is allowed under the law ang unincorporated association. Pero ang PBA po ay imbibe. Meron pong nakabalot dyan na public interest. Dahil nga po, pinapanood natin ang PBA. So they have the right to do whatever they want, whoever they want to allow into their league. Kung sino man ang gusto nilang pahintulutan, pwede po yan. Pero syempre, may mga bagay na hindi tama in terms of yung propriety. At yan lang naman ang aking issue dyan. Kasi dalawa lang sa akin ang maling assumption dyan. Number one, ang unang assumption magpapadraft ba yung player na yun? Bakit mo iiwasan? Pangalawang assumption is, iniiwasan ba niya talaga yung draft dahil meron siyang gusto? Uy, ayan na si Randolph. Sabi ko sa iyo, maganda ang pasok ni Randolph. Morning, Randolph. Thank you for joining us this morning. Mukhang nag-freeze pa yung kanyang, gawa natin ng paraan yan. Pero habang iniintay natin si Randolph, alam mo, isa pang malaking balita lumabas, Luisa, of course, is itong pagbabalik ng PBA practices. What is the general sentiment? Wala bang pangangamba mula sa mga atleta? Dahil hindi pa naman bumababa talaga ang ating mga kaso. In fact, alam mo, sa Singapore, nag-lockdown uli sila. Another lockdown sa Chile, tumataas ang kaso. Is there a sentiment na, ay, salamat, makakabalik kami, o meron pa rin konting pangamba?
I think for the players po, na parang siguro kating-kating na rin kasi sila bumalik sa action, no? So I think medyo na-outweigh nung excitement nila na bumalik sa court yung syempre calculated risk din po na yun maglalaro pa rin sa gitna ng pandemya, pero ang PBA naman po natin ay nagwo-work towards magkaroon po ng magandang vaccine rollout sa kanilang mga players, although hindi po ito nila i-require daw, sabi ni Willie Marshall, pero may added pad of protection naman na po kung meron po tayong mga multiple players at mga staff na rin po na makaka-receive na po ng bakuna.
Sinasabi nga, pati daw yung Araneta Coliseum, yung Smart Araneta Coliseum, gagawin ng vaccine center. Pambihira, no? Sa laki-laki nung building na yon ay gagawin na rin po na isang lugar para magbigay ng bakuna. Can you imagine? Sabi nila about 1,500 persons kaya nilang i-accommodate a day. Well, talaga pong pinagtutulong-tulungan yan. Alright, habang iniintay natin si Randolph, siguro subukan natin na isingit siya mamaya, pero simulan na natin ang fast take. Luisa, alam ko naman na ikaw kayang-kaya mo na lahat itong mga issue na ito. Alright, meron tayong 3 issue na ibabato sa iyo. As you know, you are a regular sa ating fast take at bato-bato sa langit. Tamaan, huwag magagalit. Ang ating unang fast take issue of the morning. Ang sabi nila, ito po, of course, ang unang-unang lumabas na ang nangyayari ngayon sa NBA ay naglalabasan na ang mga kandidato para sa awards ng NBA season dahil patapos na tayo sa NBA season. Kaya ang tanong, para sa inyo, alin sa NBA Awards ang selyado na o may runaway winner at alin naman ang may close race o hotly contested pa rin hanggang ngayon? Luisa, you have 1 minute. Go!
Yan, siguro unahin na po natin ng MVP. Maraming mga naging candidates within the year. Sila Jokic, si Embiid, yung reigning MVP na si Giannis, at pati na rin si Stephen Curry. Pero sa tingin ko ay magiging tight race na lang ito between kay Jokic at Embiid. Nakikita kasi natin na medyo pinoporma nila na big man ang mananalo ng MVP ngayon na matagal nang hindi nangyayari. So parang medyo nandun yung excitement. So I think medyo tight race to between Jokic and Embiid. For runaway winner naman, syempre kilala naman natin ang ating kababayan na si Jordan Clarkson na sa tingin ko ay runaway winner ng 6th Man of the Year. Grabe naman nakita natin ang naging impact ni Jordan Clarkson na kahit off of the bench ang laro niya, minsan siya ay isa sa mga top scorers talaga ng team niya. Naging isa siyang importanteng part ng Utah Jazz na may pinakamagandang record ngayon. So I would think na malaki ang tsansa na magiging siya ang 6th Man of the Year.
Sana nga. At sabi nga ni Homer Simpson, ilista na daw natin yan si Jordan Clarkson na 6th Man of the Year. But I agree with you, yung MVP race is still as tight as ever. In fact, yan ang pinaka-fascinating this year. Ang dami pangalan na sumama doon sa MVP race na yan. Nagsimula yan with LeBron, nasama pa si Durant nung simula. Si Harden, pumasok dyan lately. Si Curry, Chris Paul. Pero ngayon, mukhang it's down to Jokic at Embiid. Of course, the other very closely contested race is going to be the Coach of the Year dahil ang daming magagaling na mga teams na napagaling na kanilang mga coaches at yung Defensive Player of the Year. All right, let's go to our second fast take of the morning. 20 taon na tigang ang rowing sa pagpasok sa Olimpiada at sa wakas naputol na rin ito ni Cris Nievarez na ating makakausap mamaya-maya. Pero para sa iyo, Luisa, aling sport o event ang iyong inaasahan na magkakaroon din tayo ng Olympians, hindi man sa Tokyo, baka sa ibang Olimpiada sa kinabukasan. Sa tingin mo, aling sport na magkakaroon muli ang Pilipinas ng Olympian? You have 1 minute. Go!
Siguro personal take ko na lang po ito, na gusto ko pong makita ang women's football team natin sa Olympics. Kumbaga nakita naman natin yung how they can step up sa mga tougher opponents sa regional tournaments. Actually, recently po sa Olympic qualifiers ay, naka-move on sila sa mga higher stages pero parang hindi lang nila nakuha yung breaks of the game. At siguro sa preparation na lang din. And mukhang malapit na tayo makakuha ng slot sa Women's World Cup. So, at hindi na rin nalalayo na magkaroon tayo dito sa Olympics. So, team sport yan. So, siguro isa pa pong sport. For me naman, individual po, ay fencing.
Nice.
Recently lang po actually, nakausap ko po si Sam Katantan ng Penn State Fencing. Recently po nag-bronze siya sa Olympic qualifiers. Kumbaga, 2 panalo na lang, mag-Olympics na siya sana. So sa pananaw ko, ay kayang-kaya niya makabreak ng, actually 3-decade drought po, 1992 pa ang huling time na meron tayong fencer sa Olympics.
Very good. Well, talagang magagandang sport yan. Of course, inahabol natin, pangarap pa rin yan of course na magkaroon tayo ng isang team event na makapasok sa Olimpiada. Matagal-tagal na yun yung team sport. I think the last one was basketball in 72, yung men's basketball team natin. And wala pa tayong nakukuhang men's or team event na makapasok sa Olimpiada. Ako of course, ang aking inasahan sana, golf, makabalik sa Olimpiada.
Yes.
Of course, this year, posible na si Yuka at si Bianca ay makapasok. But then again, ang daming mga magagaling na batang golfers. I also hope that one day our volleyball team can make the Olympics. Sana nga in team sport. Alam mo, actually, kung Olympic sport lang ang dragon boat, dragon boat sana. Pero
Yes,
hindi pa siya Olympic sport. Alright, our third and final take of the morning, ito mainit ito. Muling naglabas ng sama ng loob itong si Yumir Marshall tungkol sa anya'y kakulangan ng suporta ng Philippine Sports Commission sa kanya. Ang tanong, how should the PSC, yung ABAP at si Yumir Marshall iron things out among themselves? Is there an easy way to go about this issue? Luisa, you have 1 minute. Go!
Siguro kung dito sa problema nito ni yung Mayor, PSC at ABAP, parang lang yan kahit anong problema natin sa buhay na parang dapat nadadaan lang sa matinong usapan. Kasi mahirap rin pag napapangunahan natin, both sides, both si Yumir at yung mga ibang ABAP officials, nasa social media. Kasi parang marami nang nakikisawsaw, kumakampi o kumakalaban sa'yo. Parang dapat siguro private muna ang ganitong usapan. Siguro magandang magkaroon ng masinsinang usapan ng mga federation sa mga atleta nila tungkol sa mga ganitong issue. Kasi sa huli naman po, nadadaan lahat yan sa usapan. Kung magiging maunawain lang siguro ang lahat ng mga party, Kasi mukhang wala pong magandang naidudulot ang sumbatan sa social media. Parang hindi tayo nagkakaroon na kagad ng friction, hindi pa tayo nag-uusap ng maayos. Pare-pareho lang naman po yata tayo ng goal dito na makarating po tayo sa Olympics at makakuha po ng gold. So, madali lang naman po yan na, kumbaga, magsama-sama na lang tayo.
Yan ang voice of calm. Yan, tama yan, Luis. And I really believe na lahat ay pwede mapag-usapan. Of course, may certain urgency. Ay, naku, Randolph. Siguro next week kukunin natin si Randolph. Pero nakapasok sa bakas. But again, medyo naubusan tayo ng oras dahil nag-iabang na yung ating mga guests. But Randolph, thank you for joining. Alam ko na gusto mo sana pumasok. Bumati ka na lang at sigurado next week ipapasok ka namin ni Luisa.
Nagka-problema sa technical ko, pasensya na. So,
walang
okay
problema,
lang.
walang problema. Alam mo naman, ikaw lagi ko sinusundan sa spin.ph. Ikaw ang aking isa sa mga paboritong writer din ito si Randolph. But thank you for joining us. I will get you next week. Gab, yung aming producer, will get you for sure for next week. Randolph, maraming salamat for still joining us. Luisa, it's been always a pleasure talking to you. Lagi kami natututo sa yung mga pananalita. Maraming salamat sa pagsama sa Fast Take this morning.
Thank you po, Com.
Thanks, Com. Good morning.
Yan po mga kaibigan, si Luisa Morales ng Philippine Star at si Randolph Leongson ng Spin.ph. Sayang Alam mo to si Randolph, ang gaganda ng mga sinusulat, napakalalim, and of course, ang galing mag-research. Talagang pinag-aaralan niya lahat ng mga topics na kanyang nilalagay doon sa kanyang sa spin.ph, and of course included in that ay ang ating susunod na panauhin. Siya ngayon ang latest toast of the town. Siya po ang bago nating Olympian, kaka-qualify lamang sa Tokyo Olympics. Sabi nga natin na nabasag po niya yung 20-year drought ng Philippine rowing sa Olympics. At siya po ang ating mga kasama ngayon, ang rower natin na papunta na ng Tokyo Olympics, walang iba kundi si Cris Nievarez. Magandang umaga, Cris.
Good morning po. Good morning po sa mga manonood.
Kamusta ka na? Congratulations, of course, and are in order. Malaking karangalan muli ang naibigay mo sa ating bansa. Nasa ka ba ngayon? Kamusta ka?
Ayos lang naman po. Nandito po kami sa quarantine hotel sa Setodine po.
Aba,
Lockdown po kami
very
dito
good.
hanggang... quarantine po kami dito hanggang 17 po.
Bakit ka naka-quarantine? Dahil galing ka sa labas ng bansa? Ganun ba yun?
Yes po. Yes po.
Oo.
Mandatory po pagka galing ibang bansa.
So, paano yan? Habang naka-quarantine ka, hindi ka nag-exercise?
Pinadala po nung nakaraang araw yung ergo machine po namin, tapos room workout po muna yung training namin.
Talaga naman. Iba ang suporta ni Mr. Pato Gregorio, no, ha? Ang Pangulo ng Philippine Rowing Association. Pato, maraming salamat. Si Pato po, isa nating kaibigan matalik. Ayun! Ayun pala, kasama natin ang Pangulo po ng Philippine Rowing Association. Pato, thank you so much for arranging this. And unang-una, I know you are on mobile. Nagpapasalamat ako for joining us. Just quickly, ano ang kahulugan nitong pagpasok ni Cris sa Olimpiada para sa Philippine Rowing?
Well, unang-una, good morning, Brother Nolly. No? Ako, once again, maraming salamat sa pag-imbita mo sa amin. Alam mo, very excited ako every time na iimbita kami sa mga ganitong pagkakataon dahil napopromote namin itong magandang sport na ito. Pangalawa, publicly, I would like to congratulate Cris, our young man from Atimonan, Quezon. No, 21 years old. Batang-bata, SEA Games gold medalist. Congratulations, Cris. We're very proud of you. Pero katulad nga na sinasabi ko sa iyo, the best is yet to come. You are just 21 years old. World champion, alam mo, Bro Nolly, ang mga world champion ng rowing, mga late 30s, sometimes early 40s. So you can just imagine, malayo pa ang mararating nitong sa ating Cris. So maraming salamat sa pag-imbita mo sa amin. Ito ay isang pagkakataon para ma-promote natin itong rowing na para sa akin ay isang napakagandang sport na pwede talagang maging successful ang atletang Pilipino.
Pato, alam ko hirap ang signal sa lugar mo, so I will not keep you, but I just want to know, all of a sudden nakatutok lahat ngayon, nakatingin ang mga mata sa Philippine Rowing. Ano ang programa na nakikita mo for the future? How can we strengthen the program? Alam mo naman that I love rowing. I was part of Dragon Boat. Matagal ako na Dragon Boat, and of course, iba ang Dragon Boat from rowing. But ano ang sa panig ng Philippine Rowing Association, ano ang plano ninyo, Pato, in terms of lalo pang palakasin ang ating programa?
Well, aside sa grassroots development, no, alam mo, ang average age ng mga rowers natin ay 21.6 years old. So aside from grassroots development, tayo magtatatag ng mga regional training centers. Kausap ko si Governor John Vic Rimulya, POC President Bambol Tolentino, para magtagtag tayo ng rowing center sa Ternate, Maragondon River. Marami ring pwede dyan sa Bulacan, meron din dyan sa Lawag. May mga training centers tayong pwedeng simulan. Kasi yan ang pinaka-importante, Bro Nolly. Kung wala yung access na yan to rowing, mahihirapan tayo. So, since we are a coastal country, then we know that lagyan mo lang ng facility yung mga yan, susubukan at susubukan ng mga bata yan. Yan ang isang pinupush ko. Of course, aside, I am sure nakabasa rin naman ng mga kababayan natin yung ginawa naming ISO 9001 Quality Management Systems na even at the height of COVID, sinimula namin yan last year. I'm proud to say, kami po ang unang NSA sa Pilipinas na may ISO 9001. Ginagawa po namin yan, ginawa ko po yan, para kahit pagkatapos ng termino ko as President of Rowing, tuloy-tuloy po yung programa dahil susundan lang ng susunod na liderato. At yan po, maski sina Cris, they went through that arduous process, napaka-komplikadong process para makamit mo yung ISO na yan. So yan po ang programa ko for 2021 and looking forward to a better performance in the SEA Games and of course, yung unahin natin yung Tokyo Olympics nga ni Cris.
Alright, well, napakaganda and of course tayong lahat ay umaasa na lalo pang lalakas ang rowing sa ating bansa. Pag mo kalimutan, Brother Pato, ang Sampaloc Lake, the 7 lakes ng San Pablo City, pwedeng-pwede yan. I promise you, it will be a perfect site. Merong magandang paikot yan na pwede mag-training ang mga rowers, ang mga atleta. It is maraming hotel doon. It's already a perfect place. At si Mayor Ambin, kayang-kaya nating ayusin para magkaroon ng rowing dyan sa San Pablo City. Before I let you go pa to, Cris, ano masasabi mo kay Mr. Gregorio? Alam naman natin, napakalaki ng suporta sa iyo ng Philippine Rowing Association, Cris.
Ayun po, sobrang nagpapasalamat po kay sir sa suporta po sa rowing kasi mula po nung naging president po siya, di po kami pinabayaan, lalo-lalo na nung nagka-pandemic po talagang nandyan po siya palagi. Kung ano yung mga kulang namin na ibibigay niya po. At ayun po, good luck po at God bless po.
All right.
So-
Brother Pato,
so,
I will let
yeah.
final say before I let
Yes,
you
sir.
go.
I will contact you soon. We will inspect your lake in San Pablo. I'm sure I'm familiar with that place. You've brought me there so many times. We need that. And if there is support of LGU, ay napakaganda niyan. I will definitely take you up on that offer, Bro Nolly.
Yes,
Taga mo
brother.
na sa bato
At
yan.
ang aming eskwelahan, gawin mo ng institution
Yes.
ng Philippine Rowing.
Yes.
At gawin nating napakaganda, gawin nating ang San Pablo City, the city of rowers at ng Dragon Boat.
Yes.
Brother Pato,
Okay.
I will let you know. Salamat. Stay safe, brother.
Salamat po. Chris, mabuhay ka.
Yan po
Sige
mga
po, sir.
kaibigan,
Ingat
si
po.
Pato Gregorio, presidente ng Philippine Rowing Association. Chris, alam mo, ang ganda ng kwento mo. Sabi nila, ikaw daw ay isang napadpad lamang sa rowing, no? Accidental rower. Kwento mo nga, paano ka ba napasok sa rowing, Chris?
Yes po, nanggaling po talaga ako sa Atimonan, Quezon. Sports ko po talaga athletics, 400 meters sprint. Tapos naging basketball po ako. Tapos meron po kasing dating Philippine rowing na athlete na nagpunta sa taga sa amin din po. Tapos nag-ano po siya ng pwedeng mag-try out sa rowing. Naghanap po siya na medyo matangkad, yung may potential, tapos pinapunta niya po ako sa Manila, sa Quezon City, tapos nag-try out po ako ng 3 months at ayun po, nagustuhan ko naman po yung rowing kaya nagtagal po ako dito hanggang sa makamit ko po to.
Ano ang una mong reaction nung una kang ipinakilala sa rowing, Chris? Dahil sabi mo nga, galing ka sa athletics, galing ka sa basketball. Alam naman natin yung mga yun, puro mabibilis, puro takbuhan. All of a sudden, nasa tubig ka. Of course, ang Atimonan, kung saan ikaw ay taga Quezon, ay puro tubig yan. Pero ano ang una mong impression sa rowing, Chris?
Ano po, syempre kasi nga 15 years old lang po ako noon, tapos nahiwalay po ako sa family ko. Parang nakakapanibago, parang hindi ako sanay ng ganun na kalayo sa pamilya. Tapos pagtagal-tagal naman po nasanay na din. Tapos sa ano naman po, sa training naman po, yung kasing gamit po namin diyan sa rowing talaga more on legs po talaga siya. So parang sa athletics po talaga gamit na gamit ko na yung legs ko. Parang na-train na siya bago ako pumunta ng rowing, kaya hindi naman siya ganun nakakaano. Pero yung talagang technique po, tapos endurance po, yun po yung talagang binild sa rowing po kailangan.
So, hindi ka naman, nung una kang na-introduce yan, hindi ka naman nahirapan. Kasi ako lang mo, nag-rowing ako, nag-dragon boat nga ako for a long, long time, no? At nung nagsimula ako sa dragon boat, talagang akala ko puro braso, tama ka, nasa binti, nasa core, di ba? Importante na malakas ang iyong core. Pero hirap na hirap ako eh. Siyempre, ikaw ba nahirapan ka nung nagsimula ka?
Yes po, sobrang hirap kasi iba po yung training namin sa
Oo.
athletics talaga. More on talaga legs. Tapos dito parang whole body yung tinitrain. Halos tuwing gym po namin, nasusuka talaga ako pagkakatapos.
Pero anong nagustuhan mo sa rowing? Kasi alam mo nung araw, nauso yung, ewan ko, bata ka pa dahil 21 ka pa lang. So pinanganak ka, mga 20, ano ka bang taon? 2019 ka ba pinanganak? 1999 ka ba pinanganak o 2000?
2000 po, 2000.
2000. So, yung litrato, yung commercial ni Richard Gomez, hindi mo na inabutan yun, yung nagro-rowing siya. Yung ba? Nakita mo ba yun? Anong
Nakita ko po kasi po nakita ko po siya kasi nasa magazine po ata yun sa team namin. Nandoon po siya.
So, anong nagustuhan mo sa rowing, Chris?
Siguro po yung pagiging parang isang team ng Philippine Rowing po, kaya siguro napamahal din ako. Tapos yung pag-aalaga po talaga sa bawat atleta ng mga coaches, hindi siya ganun kahirap kasi parang hindi ka lang tinuturuan maging atleta, tinuturuan ka rin maging isang tao, para maabot mo yung mga gusto mo sa buhay, at parang nandiyan po sila talaga lagi sa araw-araw na training namin, nagga-guide. Yun po yung
Alam mo,
maganda sa role.
sabi ng national coach ninyo, si Ed Mayrina, talagang iba daw ang iyong attitude pagdating sa training, talagang puspusan, todo bigay at wala kang tinatago, talagang sa dulo ay ubus na ubus ka. So I want to know a little more about you. Anong background mo, Cris? Alam namin na ikaw ay taga Atimonan, Quezon, pero ilang kayo sa pamilya at ang iyong mga magulang ba? Meron bang atleta sa pamilya mo?
Ano po, 3 po kami magkakapatid. Ako po yung bunso, at si papa po wala na po siya, tapos mama ko po sa bahay lang. Wala po yung sa family namin, wala pong athlete na mahilig sa sports po. Ako lang po talaga.
So anong naging reaksyon ng iyong pamilya, ng iyong ina sa iyong pagpasok sa rowing 5 years ago? Ito ba siyempre alam naman natin na tayo mga taga Quezon, ako taga Candelaria, Quezon, ng aking ina. Kaya alam naman natin na gusto nila makapag-aral ka, no? So anong naging reaksyon ng iyong ina nung nag-decide ka, yung mga magulang, na mag-decide ka na magro-rowing na lang ako? Anong sinabi sa iyo?
Ano po, si mama naman po talaga, una pa lang po talaga, sinusuportahan na po talaga ako mula nung grade 7 ako nag-athletics ako, talagang supportive na po siya. Tapos, nung nag-growing po ako lalo na, kasi nga sabi niya parang, ito na yung way para maging national team ka, tapos mag-i-representa mo yung matawat ng Pilipinas sa ibang bansa. At yun po, sobrang supportive naman po ng magulang ko. Tapos, basta wag ko lang kakalimutan na yung pag-aaral, at kung kaya kong isabay ko kahit medyo late na, ganun po.
Alright. So ikaw ba ay nag-aaral? Ano bang natapos mo sa college, Chris?
Ano po, kasi nga po medyo nahihirapan ako sa schedule ng training ng rowing, kaya nag-stop ako ng ilang taon po. Tapos ngayon po, grade 12 po ako, graduating sa Commonwealth High School po.
Very good. Well, sana nga ito'y maging daan para sa iyong patuloy na pag-aaral, at alam naman natin ngayon nakafocus ka sa training, kaya kahit papaano malaking bagay pa rin. I've always believed na hindi lamang isa ang pathway patungo sa pagiging matagumpay na tao sa ating komunidad. Pero lahat ng klaseng pathway, kung ito ay sports, then ito ay sports. Right now, tutukan natin ang training mo, Chris. Ano ang pinakamahalagang katangian ba ng isang rower, Chris, sa tingin mo?
Sa akin po talaga, para sa sarili ko, ang ano po talaga sa akin, parang kailangan talaga araw-araw motivated ka bumangon ng maaga, kasi 5:00 po talaga training namin. So parang 4:30 gising ka na, nag-aayos ka na para mag-jogging. Yun po, tapos dedication po, tapos consistency po talaga sa training. Kailangan talaga tuloy-tuloy, wag mong pabayaan, kasi yung rowing po, endurance sport po yan. Pagka napabayaan mo siya ng 2 araw, hindi ka nakapag-training, parang bagsak agad yung performance mo. So parang ganun lang po, yun po talaga yung pinanghahawakan po ng
Bigyan mo
rowing.
nga kami ng imahe, ng litrato ng typical training day mo. Anong ginagawa mo? I know that maagang nagsisimula tayo dahil kailangan mas maganda, kalmado ang tubig. Pero ano ang typical day ng isang rower at ng isang Olympian katulad mo?
Ano po, nagising po kami, buong team ng 5 o'clock po, tapos training po siya ng 5:15. Takbo po kami ng 4 to 5 kilometers po, tapos natatapos po yun ng 6:30. Tapos breakfast po kami ng 7, tapos 8 o'clock magro-rowing naman po kami sa Lamesa Dam, sa tubig na yung training. Umaabot po siya ng halos 2 oras, 1.5 oras, ganun. Tapos natatapos po siya ng mga 11 or 10:30 pag medyo maigsi yung training program. Tapos kinahapunan po, yung training po namin 3 o'clock or 4, bababa na kami ng tubig para mag-training ulit sa water training. Tapos natatapos po siya ng mga 6 or 5:30 po.
Alright, in terms of cross-training, meron ka bang ginagawa? Sabi mo nga, atleta ka, you're in athletics, naglalaro ka ng basketball. Meron ka bang nilalaro outside of the training ng rowing?
Wala po kasi parang sobrang pagod na po nung training namin. So parang siguro ang ibang laro talaga namin esports na po.
Esports na. Anong hilig mo? Anong nilalaro mo? Mobile Legend?
Mobile Legends
Ay,
sa COD po.
siyempre. Siyempre. Alright. Let's go ngayon. Alam natin na ikaw ay nakakwalify sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag na Continental Qualification System. Although, nag-semifinals ka dun sa qualifier, dahil dun, ikaw ay napili dun sa Continental Qualification System. Paano mo pinaghandaan yung qualifiers, Cris? Ikaw ba ay lumaban sa iba't ibang training bago ka nagpunta ng qualifier?
Actually po, ang ano po talaga namin, 2019 po talaga yun po yung parang umpisa nung kampanya namin po sa Olympics, hindi lang nung SEA Games na dumaan. Parang dinire-diretso na po namin. Marami pong training camp ako napuntahan 2019 tapos mga competition. Pero ano nga, yung qualifying po talaga kasi 2020 po talaga sana yan eh. Kaso nagka-pandemic, na-delay po. Tapos ngayon lang natuloy. Pero na-lockdown po ako sa Quezon City kaya yung training hindi siya na-stop. Hindi po ako nakauwi ng probinsya. Kaya tuloy-tuloy po yung training ko. At yung preparation po maganda naman. Tapos nag-umpisa po talaga yung peaking ng 2021 January. Kaya yung 4 months po na training, maganda naman po yung naipapakita sa araw-araw.
Alright, ngayon napasok ka na sa Tokyo Olympics, Cris. Ano ang plano mo pagdating sa training? Meron pa bang foreign trip ka bago ka sumabak sa Tokyo?
Hindi ko pa po alam kung ano po yung plano ni Sir Pato, pero ang alam ko lang po na sure na papunta na po yung foreign coach namin si Coach Shukrat na dati naming coach din po nung SEA Games. Inaasikaso na po yung papel niya para makapunta rito sa Pilipinas as soon as possible po.
Taga anong bansa yan si Coach Shukrat?
Uzbekistan po.
Uzbekistan. Alright. At obviously, napakalaki ng tulong para ikaw ay mapagaling. Cris, nakakaramdam ka ba ng pressure ngayon? Ngayon, bigla sumikat ka, kilalang-kilala ka na ngayon, na isang Olympian, papunta ka sa Tokyo for the first time in 20 years, nasa sayo ang bigat ng responsibilidad. Do you feel pressure? Meron ka bang kaba?
Yes po, hindi naman po talaga mawawala yung pressure kasi ako nga lang po yung parang after 20 years po na-qualify sa Olympics. Andun po yung pressure tapos at the same time nandun po yung karangalan kasi maipapakita na ulit namin yung sagwa namin sa Olympics at yun po isa nga pong karangalan na bandera ulit yung watawat ng Pilipinas sa sports na rowing sa Olympics po.
Alam mo, kinikilabutan ako sa sinasabi mo. Pag sinasabi mo, papakita na natin yung sagwa na. Kasi naranasan ko yung kahit papaano, mahawak mo yung sagwan para sa iyong bansa kasama ng iba't ibang mga ibang atleta sa ibang mundo, no, sa ibang bahagi ng mundo. Kaya, before I let you go, Cris, ano ang ibig sabihin nitong pagpasok mo sa Olympics? Alam natin na napakatagal na nito, but personally, ikaw, 21 anyos ka pa lamang. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito para sa iyo at gaano ka katagal mananatili sa pagro-rowing?
Para sa akin po itong opportunity na po na ito isang magandang parang isang magandang way para mas makilala yung Philippine rowing or yung sports na rowing sa buong bansa. Hindi lamang na sa ibang sports katulad ng mga boxing, basketball, volleyball na kilala, meron din pala maisip nila na meron din palang rowing na parang mas mag-excel yung atleta pag sinubukan yung sports na yun. Kaya ayun po, parang ako yung magiging way na mas makilala yung sports na rowing sa buong Pilipinas at the same time po maganda rin po para sa sarili ko kasi ngayon nga po nagiging mas kilala at parang nagkakaroon ng pride po yung Philippine rowing sa buong bansa po.
Well, definitely, you're now the face of rowing and we'll never know. Pagdarasal natin ang iyong success. Sabi nga ni Pato, 21 anyos ka pa lamang, hanggang 40 may mga nagro-row. So we expect you to be a regular fixture in the Olympics and we wish you all the best, Cris, sa iyong pagtitraining, paghahanda, and of course sa paglaban mo para sa ating bansa sa Tokyo Olympics. Maraming salamat at mag-ingat ka, Cris, ha? At tayo magkakamustahan pa bago ka siguro umalis.
Yes po, thank you po, thank you.
Maraming salamat. Mga kaibigan, ang ating bagong Olympian, ang rower na si Cris Nievarez na ngayon po ay patungo na sa Tokyo para bigyan muli ng pagkakataon ng bansang makakuha ng medalya sa Olimpiada sa larangan ng rowing. Naku, pambihira. Alam niyo yung rowing na yan? That is one sport I think we can excel. Totoo po yan. I've always believed in that. Dragon boat was something that I did. In fact, sa akin, the only team sport sa tingin ko na pwedeng mag-excel internationally ang Pilipino ay ang dragon boat. Sapagkat wala hong height dyan. Wala hong lakas-lakas siya. Kailangan lahat kayo sabay-sabay. It's all about timing. It's all about teamwork. And it's all about getting to the water. Ang dami nating tubig. Archipelago tayo. Sayang po ang ating natural resources. But again, congratulations sa Philippine Rowing Association kay Mr. Pato Gregorio and good luck kay Cris Nievarez. Magbabalik pa po ang Power and Play. Ito po ang inyong kasama tuwing Sabado, Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Big Boss Cement at ng Cherry Lou. Kinakamusta ko po ang ating mga kababayan dyan po sa Tanawan, Batangas, lalong-lalo na po ang mga karandang. And of course, sa Batangas, malapit na magpunta dyan ng mga PBA teams para mag-practice. Abangan nyo mga kaibigan dyan. Okay, at this point mga kaibigan, balikan muna natin ang best moments pagdating sa palakasan this week in sports history. Dahil malapit na ang playoffs, balikan natin ang isa sa iconic playoff moments sa kasaysayan ng NBA. May 16, 1980 o 41 years ago sa Game 6 ng NBA Finals sa pagitan ng Los Angeles Lakers at Philadelphia 76ers, injured ang star center ng Lakers na si Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kaya ang pumalit sa kanyang posisyon ang point guard na si Magic Johnson na rookie pa lang noong panahon na yun. Nagpakitang gila si Johnson at umiskor ng 42 puntos, 42 points on the way to winning Game 6 in the title, beating the Sixers 4-2. Magic Johnson plays center and leads Los Angeles to the title this week in sports history. Pambihira yung ginawa niyan. Tandaan nyo, rookie si Magic Johnson nung taon na yon, and that was one of the greatest moments in NBA playoff history. Well, pinag-uusapan po ang kasaysayan at marami po sa ating mga golfers ngayon ang gumagawa ng sarili nilang history sa golf course. Alam natin ang storya ni Yuka Saso, si Bianca Pagdanganan na naglalaro sa LPGA. Pero hindi po dyan nagtatapos. Meron po kaming nakapanayam about a few nights ago, ngayon pong linggong ito, si Pauline del Rosario, isa pong batang golfer na 22 years old na ngayon ay kumakampanya na rin po sa Amerika. Siya po ay naglalaro sa Women's All-Pro Tour. Ito po ay isang tour ng golf kung saan pwede na siyang umangat ng dahan-dahan patungo sa LPGA. It's like a qualifier. At ngayon pong araw na to, kakapasok pa lamang itong balitang ito mga kaibigan, si Pauline del Rosario, ang ating pong ipapakitang interview sa ilang sandali, ay nanalo doon po sa kanyang nilahukan na torneo. Pauline, ito po ay nakuha niya her first international win in 4 years at siya po ay nanalo ng mahigit 400,000 piso. Siya po ay score ng 72 today to beat Mariel Galdiano and to win the WLN Central Arkansas Open. Ang ibig pong sabihin nito, she will get an exemption into the 200,000 Mission Inn Resorts Championship, a regular leg of the second tier Symetra Tour sa Mayo 28 po dyan sa California. Yung pong Symetra Tour is the step-up league patungo sa LPGA. Wow! Congratulations kay Pau del Rosario na ngayon po ay nanalo ng isang torneo doon po sa Arkansas. At ngayon po, gusto namin ihatid sa inyo ang aking panayam kay Pauline del Rosario at sa editor ng Perfect Drive PH na kasama ko pong nag-interview kay Pauline, si Adrian Flores. Ito po ang ating kampiyon sa golf, Pauline del Rosario. It's really a pleasure for me to have the two of you. Adrian, bago kita tanungin, siyempre, ladies first. Pauline, you have been sensational in your career as an amateur. Ang dami mo nang napanalunan, hindi lamang sa Pilipinas, kung hindi all over Southeast Asia, all over the world. And now you have turned pro. Obviously, you have become a fixture sa pro circuit dito sa Pilipinas, in China, in Taiwan. How big was your amateur career sa pagtulong sa iyo ngayon bilang isang professional golfer, Pauline?
Well, traveling with the ICTSI amateur team exposed me to a lot of different courses, which I'm thankful for, because playing professional, you travel around, you play different courses, and I'm very happy that during my amateur career I was able to do that as well, and I think that prepared me going into my pro career.
You know, when you compare your amateur tournaments and now that you are campaigning in the pro circuit, what difference do you see between playing as an amateur and as a professional?
Oh, that's so easy. Just the professionalism they put into the game. I would say not really the respect, or I would just use the word respect they put into the game. That means they're very disciplined with their time, with how they go about things. So I think that's the biggest part of the difference between amateur and professional golf.
Alam mo, Adrian, there has been a surge in Philippine women's golf dahil nga sa mga campaigners natin na nasa abroad. Yuka Saso, of course, has made a terrific impact on Philippine golf. She is, in fact, the reigning Sportsman of the Year ng ating bansa. And then, of course, there's Bianca Pagdanganan na naglalaro sa LPGA. And here comes Pauline. Ano sa tingin mo, Adrian, ang rason kung bakit lumakas bigla ang programa ng women's golf dito sa ating bansa?
Alam mo, Kung Noli, matagal na yan eh. Matagal na ang ating program for the ladies golf. Ano? Hindi lang siya masyadong na-highlight because we have guys like Frankie Minosa, we have Angelo Ke. Most of the time, yung ladies tour natin takes a back seat when it comes to publicity or yung awareness. But hindi alam lahat ng tao na yung program na ginawa ng ICTSI actually, napakaganda nun kasi you're not only talking of yung Yuka and Bianca and Pauline. Even before, you have Jennifer Rosales.
That's right.
Kasama rin siya sa ICTSI before. You have, if you remember, sila Anya Tanpinco and all the si Kaina Rodriguez when she was still active in the Pro Tour. At malakas talaga yung program maganda ang program. Ang problema lang natin is I think it's more of making more noise or creating more awareness para at least mas marami pang lalabas diyan na magagaling.
And of course, yung binibigyan natin ng access ang ating mga players, ang ating mga golfers dun sa international platforms, yung mga competitions na international. Because talagang dun gumagaling dahil pag ang nakakalaban mo ay napakagagaling, talagang nakakatulong yan sa pagsanay ng ating mga golfers. And Adrian, before I go back to Pauline, matagal mo nang tinututukan si Pauline. We've talked about her, even in the past. Anong mga katangian ni Pauline do you see in her game that you think will really make her very successful sa Pro Tour na kung saan siya ngayon kalahok?
Alam mo si Pauline, ang number one na nakita ko sa kanya, yung attitude she's very determined. She's very determined no matter what the challenge is. She'll come out and play her best. Alam mo, before when she was an amateur, she was competing with this yung sila Arya Junatugarn. Yes.
Nakapanalo lang ni Arya Junatugarn sa Thailand Open.
Yeah, kasabayan ni Pauline yan. So,
wow.
You just imagine the kind of yung training na dinaanan niya, yung experience niya with playing against these girls when she was an amateur. So, I believe that in siguro in a couple of years yung maturity pag yung maturity level niya mas tumaas pa baka we can see another Filipina champion sa LPGA.
Absolutely, and we're certainly hoping for that. Pero bago yun, syempre, Pauline, balikan lang natin konti. A lot of people know very little of you, and gusto ko malaman, I want to know a little bit more of you. Who introduced you to the game, and sino bang pinakamalaking influence sa'yo when it comes to playing golf?
Well, my dad introduced me to the game when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and just took off from there. I played most of my amateur years with ICTSI under their support and their care, and just a big influence for me is seeing Yuka, Bianca, Dottie, Princess, and the rest of the girls, just trying to do their best to further the game in Philippine golf and elevate their game to play in bigger leagues and bigger events, and that's basically what inspires me to play bigger and better.
In terms of your coaches, was it just principally your dad, or did you get any kind of professional help as well from other coaches?
Yes. I've had a handful of coaches. When I was with ICTS, I was with Bong Lopez, I was with Jun Cedo, Coach J3, and my coach now is from the US. He's from Orlando, Florida, and I've been with him since 2018 actually, late part of 2018.
Kanina nabanggit ni Adrian that you have played with some of the names that are now really winning a lot of tournaments. Arya Junatugarn of Thailand just won the Honda Thailand Open. Meron ka ba bang ibang golf idols na nakalaro mo na or gusto mong makalaro so far? is that part of the dream that you've set out for yourself?
Well, I've played with a couple of girls from the LPJ from time to time on sometimes a Florida tour or in Thailand. Like for Nanong Patong when I was about 14, and to just play alongside, not really alongside, but in the same tournament as them and see how they fare on those courses and how I play in those courses as well. It pushes me and it gives me a bit of confidence that I can actually play, maybe someday in their level, on their level.
All right. Adrian, you have any questions that you want to ask kay Pauline?
Yeah, kasi alam mo, first time niya maglalaro dyan sa Women's All-Pro Tour, ano? Pauline, you played in China, the LPGA China. You played in Thailand, LPGA also. What now is the difference playing against dito sa WAPT na liga? What sets it apart from all the nasalihan mo na?
Well, on this tour kasi it's the Step Up Tour to Symetra Tour, which is the tour below LPGA. So I feel like other than this is practice for me, since I wanted to join the Q school this August. It has more of a benefit if I play continuously on this tour, because if you get on the top 5 after all the events, you get to go to the second stage of qualifying school. So you don't need to play the first stage. So I would think the difference also would be the players, the courses in the US and Asia are very different. Oh, they're two worlds. They're different.
Pero,
Noli,
go ahead.
madagdag ko lang, kaya yan sumali dyan sa US, because wala tayong tournaments dito sa atin.
That's right. Oo.
Yeah, so hindi, ang maganda rito, this will be her primer when she competes in the LPGA qualifier in
Wow.
August. Tama ba, Pauline? August, ano?
All right.
Sa August ba?
Oo.
Yes, August.
Well,
Yun.
nakakatuwa yan. Nakakatuwa na this is already a prep patungo sa LPGA. Alam naman natin how difficult it is to get into the LPGA. And that's why my next question to you is, in the facets ng laro mo, in your game, ano sa tingin mo, now that you're seeing all of these golfers up close and personal, ano sa tingin mo ang aspeto ng inyong laro that needs to be improved? Maybe a better way to put it is, what are the strengths and weaknesses of your game that you feel you have to work on?
Well, I think it's just I need the confidence that I can, carry out what I practiced and bring with me what I've trained for from the Philippines to here. Since I said the courses are different, the temperatures are different. So if it's cold, you add 2 clubs. In the Philippines, you never add 2 clubs just because it's a bit cold, or you add clubs because it's windy, but never because it's cold. I guess just, different kinds of grasses here. There's bent, there's stiff eagle, there's poa. And in the Philippines, it's, stiff eagle and zoysia, which is, you can't really compare it to what they have
What
here
we
in
have
the
here.
US.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's very
Oo.
different. So just
Oo.
so that's that transition of playing in the Philippines, for quite some time because of the lockdown last year. It's just, I think, the confidence in the transition to say, oh, okay, I practice this in the Philippines. Can I carry it out here now in the US courses? I feel that
That's
would be the
very
challenge,
interesting.
if anything.
Kom,
Yes.
dagdag lang dagdag lang. Humble lang kasi yan. Ang strength talaga niyan, alam mo kung ano strength niyan?
Oh, ano
Her
ba?
short game.
All right.
She has a very good short game. I think over the past years, nung napanood ko na siya, I think she needs to improve more on, well, ewan ko if Pauline will agree, she needs to putt well during yung crunch time. I think she's agreeing. So
It's
I think
under
putting is
pressure. Like performing under pressure,
yeah.
and especially
And
in the center.
definitely playing in this kind of level will put you in that situation para talaga masubukan ka and how well you can adapt to the conditions. No? Yes, and Adrian, may follow
No.
up.
No. Okay na yan, okay na.
Let me ask you, Pauline, no? Obviously, hindi madali itong ginagawa mo. You're now in Arkansas in a tournament called Central Conway Open.
Open, yes.
And is this your first or second tournament sa WAP?
This will be my second tournament po.
All right,
I played
second
my
tournament.
first last week. Yes po.
Okay, I'm very interested to know, what has been the challenges so far for you in your first 3 weeks, your first 2 tournaments, papasok kasi yung ikalawa. What has been the biggest challenge for you so far as a professional golfer?
Well, actually, when I arrived, before playing my first tournament, I was still, overcoming jet lag, and I found it not naman difficult, but I found myself trying to find my tempo because my tempo is a key part in my swing. If my tempo is off, even if my swing is on plane and on path, it wouldn't necessarily go straight. So I think just that, because I know I did my part to prepare myself in the Philippines before coming here. So I think just that.
All right, but there are other things outside of the course, outside of the game. Halimbawa, alam natin, you travel, everywhere. Ito ngayon, nasa Arkansas ka, your base is in Dallas. So, may mga gastos yan, definitely, no? Can you give us a typical rundown of what you pay for as you travel from one tournament to another? Ano ba yung mga binabayaran ng isang pro golfer?
Well, first of all, car rental, gas, that comes with the car rental, accommodations, and food, tournament entries. That's the bulk of it. I would say that's the bulk of it. Yes.
But napakamahal pa rin nun pala, Adrian. And Adrian, when you hear these stories, parang nakakaawa rin ng ating mga golfer because lalo na yung mga nagsisimula, no? Unless you get really good funding. Do you think na well, mabutit may ICTSI, no? But do you think na ang ating women's golfers can get the same kind of opportunities na pag ganun-ganun lang kung gusto nila talagang gumaling? Adrian, from the Philippines?
Alam mo kung kaya naman from all the years na nakokoberan ko ang golf sa last 18 years. Kaya naman, ano lang kasi minsan nahahaluan kasi ng politika, mas maigi kung golf na lang laro na lang. And yung funding naman usually comes from the big companies
Oh.
So I think it's just a matter of yun nga, yung sinabi mo kanina, yung program, if we can create awareness dun sa program, makikita nila na yung abundance of yung magagaling na lady golfers na hindi lang na naha-highlight pa or nakikilala pa. But yung kung tayo lang yung sa nakikita natin, marami pa diyan na hindi pa na-expose.
Well, so I guess the question that is being begged is the local golf leadership doing enough para sa ating women's golf?
Yung leadership kasi we have to mention yung National Golf Association of the Philippines kasi sila yung national body natin, NSA natin. I think they're doing their best to come out with a good program kaya lang kasi minsan yung reluctant yung mga big companies to come in kasi minsan ang iniisip nila kagad you should get a big name, you should get this, get her, you should try going dun sa mga probinsya. You'll see a lot of 10, 11, 12 years old na babae that really has the potential to be a champion someday.
Oh, right.
I think yan ang I think hindi lang talaga natatap pa but marami yan.
Over the weekend, I was Yan po mga kaibigan, ang panayam natin kay Pauline del Rosario at kay Adrian Flores, ang editor and publisher ng Perfect Drive PH, isa pong magazine na libre po abangan niyo po yan sa mga country clubs. Of course, Pauline del Rosario just won her first tournament sa WAPT, yung pong Women's All-Pro Tour sa Amerika. Ito po ay mga hulugan na she has qualified for a tournament in California doon po sa Symetra Tour. Ito po yung susunod na level bago siya makapasok ng LPGA. Again, yung pong pinagdaraanan ng ating mga atleta, hindi po pangkaraniwan, hindi po madali. Kaya po kahit papano binibigyan natin ng puri at parangal ang kanilang mga successes dito po sa ating programa. And of course, we certainly wish Pauline all the best sa kanyang kampanya sa WAPT. Alright, mga kaibigan, tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa Power and Play sa oras po na 9:11 ng umaga. Ipapasok ko po ngayon ang ating susunod na magiging panauhin na medyo kaya natin kailangan ipasok to dahil marami rin mga balita na lumalabas tungkol sa PBA, and now that the PBA has been given the green light to resume practices, how does this affect our own superstars in the league? And today we have one of them, a PBA veteran, of course, a long-time national athlete, and of course one of the greatest people that you can ever meet in basketball. No other than one of my very favorites, Gabe Norwood of Rain or Shine, Elasto Painters. Good morning.
Good morning.
Gabe. Good to see
Good to
you
see
again.
you.
Terrific. You look like
Good to see
you're in great shape, Gabe. I see a lot of your IG stories about your family.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been spending a lot of time with the kids.
Yeah, for sure. I like to think that my three sons are helping me stay in shape, chasing them around the condo. So it's been one of those things you got to find joy in your situation. So family time has been good for us.
I love it. Well, that family time is now going to be cut. Our status has now been changed to GCQ with heightened restrictions. And that means that the PBA may soon be going back to practices. Your reaction, Gabe, and are there still any concerns about this move, considering that there is still a lot of cases of COVID-19?
First and foremost, definitely excited to be able to get back to work. I'm sure just like every industry, when you get the okay during this past 13, 14 months to get back to the office or get back to just your workspace, is exciting to be able to really earn and provide for your family. So, as players, I think we're excited to get back and get ready for a season. Naturally, there's going to be concerns. There's no perfect situation. And it's a constant, kind of learning process throughout this whole pandemic. But we like to think that the PBA has done a great job in terms of putting protocols in place that we can abide by to keep ourselves and our families healthy.
There is a proposal, of course, about instead of doing a bubble, it will be a closed circuit system. Commissioner Willie Marshall talked to me about this. Aside from the fact that it's very expensive to maintain a bubble, there is that mental health issue that he was talking about, which is really a serious concern among many athletes. Gabe, I know you are very outspoken about this as well. First of all, is this real? Some people don't know what athletes go through, especially what you went through in the bubble. Is this a real concern? And do you believe that this is a valid reason for this closed circuit system?
Absolutely. In terms of mental health of players, we all have different needs and kind of situations, whether it's our living situations. For me personally, having my wife and kids are guys who might be single and kind of either used to being alone or are just extroverts and need to be around people to, to kind of stay sane and stay focused on what they're trying to do. So I think mental health plays a big role in it. For me personally, I think my Gilas experience kind of prepared me for the bubble, going to long training camps and being away for months, and my wife and my children kind of understanding that. But, not everybody has gone through the same things I may have gone through. I don't know another guy's situation as well. So it's definitely, I think, a good way to approach it outside of the business angle for guys to be able to perform to the best of their abilities.
Well, it means also a lot of responsibilities for you guys
Yes.
because it's not going to be easy, and you want to all stay safe. Recently, there was news about a team I think in Thailand, where they had like 21 players getting COVID. So is that something that you feel the players are ready and ready to comply with the rules of the PBA?
I would like to think so. It's going to be difficult, just the back and forth and the discipline that will take, especially, in our culture naturally. I think we have a lot of guys in this league who are very personable. It's hard to not stop and take a picture with a fan or, kind of have that back and forth. So it's going to be tough, but at the same time, I think, given the situation and how much time we've had off without being able to play the game, I think we're all cherishing this opportunity to get back on the court and really try to make the most of it. So I like to think that we're all going to be locked in and get this done.
All right. Well, talking about getting to play again, rain or shine as a new coach, Chris Gavina, it'll be his first time as a head coach of the team. Your impressions about Coach Chris and, how do you like his style and, I guess his mindset going into the season?
Probably first and foremost, the thing with Coach Chris is he competes. He's found ways through this pandemic to kind of keep us locked in, whether it's Zoom meetings and breaking down film, just kind of having team building situations where he's brought in speakers, motivational speakers, and things like that. So he's really locked in on this season and making a good first impression, on our team and on our management. And I think it's a cool contrast to see him. He was with us as an assistant. So to bring some of Coach Kaloy's personality, and I think, anybody that meets Coach Kaloy, they don't have a bad thing to say about him, just in terms of how much fun you have working with him or playing for him. So I think, kind of Coach Chris's intensity and Coach Kaloy's kind of welcoming kind of presence have molded well. And I think he's going to do good things.
You're talking about obviously management as well. We know that two of the best people in basketball are your team owners, Raymond Yu and Terry Ke. They are terrific people. They love the game and they love just being around basketball. Talk a little bit about them, Gabe, and the lessons that you've learned from them as team owners, not only in your career but also as a person.
Yeah, I mean, just being around the U and the K family, my entire career, all the way back to, rest in peace to Mommy U and just the family atmosphere that they've built at Rain or Shine. It's calls before, especially, it's been a little bit since I've been to the office now, but there were times where I was at the office just hanging out, come by and have food, especially in my early years when I was single, didn't have family. It was one of those holidays I was eating with the family, with the youth, usually New Year's, Christmas. It was always that kind of presence. And I think it's something that shows on the court, whether it was Coach Kaloy, Coach Yang, or now Coach Chris. I think we carry that same family mentality into our team. So it's been a blessing. I don't know anything else. I don't know if other teams are the same way. So I can only speak for Rain or Shine in the U family and the K family.
Well, I know Raymond is a very, very personable, simple guy, but he loves the game so much. And of course, Terry, he still plays to this day and just an unbelievable fan of the game. When you talk about the game itself, as the season gets ready, who among the players, the veterans, of course, are you most looking forward to playing again in your team? We know that, you're building a new team, but among the vets, you haven't played basketball in a while. Who do you miss most, Gabe?
Man, I mean, you can run down the list. Me and Bo Belga, we came into the league together. Me, Bo, and Mark Boberan, we were all in the same draft class. So it's kind of cool to kind of share that journey with each other. We still have James, who is, at the end of the day, James Yap's going to be James Yap. He's always a threat on the court, and it's fun to kind of see him as a leader. Young guys look up to him. He can take a shot from anywhere and it looks good. So it's going to be fun to get back with the vets and try to lead a younger group of guys. We have a lot of youth on the team now, but we've kind of embraced our roles of Kuya, and we're going to go from there.
Talking about the young guys, you've got new recruits. Frankie Johnson, Santi Santillan. There is, of course, Asisio. How much does the needle for rain or shine move with these new guys in the team?
Yeah, I mean it's been a steady progression over the last few years. When we added Raylan Batak, we added JB Mocon, we add those type of pieces to add Anton, Leonard, we got Frankie, Andre is with us as well. So
right.
So it's exciting times. It's opportunities for these guys. I think it's been proven at Rain or Shine that you're gonna get to play. We use the full roster, so it's going to be a chance for them to really step up and build their place in the league. So I think we have talent, a lot of versatility, and I think we should be fun to watch.
You have also been a regular fixture, of course, of Gilas. You are, one of those that, the poster boy of Gilas Pilipinas, not only because of the way you play, but because of the way you've led that team. And, now that you are, well, semi-retired from the national team. I still like to think you may come back one day, but what is your reaction to what is your reaction, Gabe, to Gilas now sending an all cadets team to the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, as well as to the OQT, the Olympic qualifying tournament, and maybe your advice to these young guys?
Cherish the moment first and foremost is my advice. I think. It's easy when you're young to think you're going to have these chances over and over again. I was lucky to really get called up, and really back to the U and the K family and Rain or Shine, allowing me to always be available. But really cherish the moment. I'm excited for what Coach Tab has going, especially just because of the time. I think that's been the biggest thing, no matter the team, whether it's, college players, cadets, pros, it's really come down to time and preparation. And just knowing Coach Tab, he's going to have those guys ready. He's going to have them ready to play, ready to compete. And, just given the time that they have, I'd be confident in that. So, it'd be interesting, if 30 gets thrown back into the mix. And I saw Juan is supposed to be joining again soon as well. So those are just two added threats to that team that could really help moving forward.
Well, exciting times indeed for basketball. Even, guys now having opportunities to train abroad. During your time, it was the Philams coming over to the Philippines. Now we're actually sending our own local boys to play abroad. Like Kai Soto is now in the NBL. We see Kobe trying to, find his luck in the G League, and of course, 30 playing in Japan. What is your takeaway from this, Gabe? Do you think that this is going to be a boon or a bane for Philippine basketball?
I think it's going to be a boom. I think it's awesome. It's really inspiring, even for myself, to teach my children to look at, they've had opportunities, have relationships and friendships with 30 and with Kobe and those guys. So it's pretty cool to really be able to shoot for your dreams. I think it actually the foundation started a while ago. Jason Castro headed over, and he was playing for the Slingers when the Slingers, I believe, was still in the NBL. You had, Japeth and Kiefer, Ray Parks, and those guys kind of be the testing, kind of the testers of the opportunity. And now guys are really starting to thrive. So I think it's something that's going to stick with us. It's a testament to the style of play here in the Philippines and really the people that we are. At the end of the day, if you're not kind of marketable and kind of a selling point in a sense, I don't think you get the same opportunity. So, awesome job by 30, especially this year. Even through his injury, he was still, the guy there and somebody that I think just the way he handles himself probably helped this situation as well in terms of extending his contract.
Definitely, a lot of things have changed since you entered basketball. A lot of things in the game itself, but also out of the game. You guys are now, you're very strong in social media. You have a terrific social media following, over 175,000 followers on Twitter, and obviously many players are like you. You have a lot of influence among your fans. How do you use personally, this newfound power that you have on social media, maybe to affect change on social issues that we see all around us?
I think the biggest thing for me that I found, I'm one of the older guys, like you mentioned. I try to really stay in my lane a little bit in terms of what things kind of I've been through personally. I think there's opportunities to share personal experiences through the world, through what's going on in the world. What you're connected to, and there's power in speaking up. There's also power in silence at times, in terms of allowing people to question, allowing the people to say, what is he thinking about this? What could he possibly been going through in situations? So I think it's an interesting time. At the end of the day, as athletes, we're really still just human beings. We've been through a lot of the same scenarios and a lot of the same experiences that, you want to say that I guess the common person has been through. But at the end of the day, we're a part of humanity just like everybody else, and we want to see it do its best.
Well, athletes will always be role models, whether you like it or not. And now that you have this platform, clearly, you can effect change in so. Gusto ko po magpasalamat kay Gabe Norwood. Medyo nagkaroon tayo ng technical problem. But again, I'd like to thank Gabe for that marvelous interview. I think I still have Gabe. All right, good. I'm so happy you're still good. Before I let you go, I just have one question. That I wanted to, these things happen when you're on live television,
sure.
Gabe. You're a very good friend of Jordan Clarkson, and you played together. First of all, do you think he's going to get his first ring? with the Jazz? I know you're not a Utah Jazz fan, but what are your thoughts, Gabe, before you go?
I hope so. I think we all are a little bit of a Utah Jazz fan, especially now that Jordan's there. I think he's definitely taking home his first Six-Man of the Year trophy. Hopefully that's the first of many. I think he's really bought into that role, and it kind of fits that team and what they need. So, they seem to be probably one of the healthiest teams in the West. So you like to think that that's going to go a long way in their depth as a team. So it'd be awesome to see them there in the finals and to lift the trophy. It's going to be tough to overcome, naturally with experience, but all you got to do is do it at the end of the day. It doesn't happen until you do it. So, my prayers are with them, and hopefully he helps them make that happen.
And we certainly hope that one day we see him back in a Gilas uniform, right, Gabe?
Yes, for sure. Sooner than later.
Sooner than later, indeed. Well, Gabe, thank you so much. As much as you are wishing the Utah Jazz a championship, I wish you as well. A good run this season.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Enjoy your time first with the family, but we'll see you in the court very soon. Thank you so much.
Definitely, Calm. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. One of the best people in basketball, a very intelligent man when it comes to many of the issues around us. Walang iba kundi si Gabe Norwood ng Rain or Shine. Gusto ko magpasalamat ngayon at this point sa ating mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Marami po salamat, of course, sa ating principal sponsor, ang Big Boss Cement. Big Boss at Atag, Big Boss at Tibay. Nandito na ang Big Boss Cement. Di basta matitibag, approved sa kalikasan at sobrang abot kaya. Big Boss Cement is the first eco-friendly cement company in the Philippines. First and only cement that is produced with low to 0% of high carbon footprint materials. Big Boss Cement, Big Boss at Atag, Big Boss sa Tibay. Marami din po salamat, of course, kay Engineer Gilbert Cruz ng Big Boss Cement. Marami po salamat din sa Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon, mga kapatid, at lalo na pag tag-init, kailangan natin ang matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tiyak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Marami pong salamat kay pareng Elmer Ngo ng Cherry Loom. Marami din po salamat, of course, sa Elms Resto Bar Group, home of fried itik, with branches at Elms Tapas and Winery located in Calia Bistro, Commonwealth, Quezon City, and Elms Grill and Bar sa Poblacion, Makati. Pwede nyo rin pong tawagan ang kanilang mga mobile number 0977-157-0499 o 0966-854-4048 or visit their FB and IG pages at Elms Resto Bar Group for reservation and inquiries. Thank you so much kay Ma'am Malu Yambao. Thank you also to Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Dahil ayaw naming nahihirapan ka, book Joyride Motorcycle Taxi now and experience hassle-free commute. Kapag delivery naman, Joyride ang gamitin. Bagsak presyo, pero hindi ang serbisyo. Joyride is now on its lowest rates ever. And of course, bukas na po ang JR Mall, kung saan makakapag-order na kayo right from the convenience of the JR app. Download the latest Joyride and Happy Move app now. Marami din po salamat sa Makisagot Professional, your school of makeup artistry, the official makeup of Power and Play. And of course, pasalamat din po kami sa Skin, your face and body anti-aging center, with branches at Wilson Street, San Juan City, at sa Alabang Town Center sa Muntinlupa City. We provide in-the-butt tissue regeneration procedure, mesotherapy, Maximus Tri-Lipo, and many more to take care of your body needs. For inquiries, please call 0917-890-1640, 0977-809-8886. Hanapin lang po nyo si Dr. Richie Sarmiento at si Doc G. Sarmiento. Thank you so much sa lahat po ng mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Kanina po, binanggit ko na ang ating mga pupulsuhan ngayong araw pong ito. Ang ating pong pinupulsuhan, mga kapatid, ngayong araw pong ito ay ang tanong na dapat bang ipagpatuloy o ipatigil ang draft dodger rule ng PBA. Ito po ang mga, ang dami nagpadala, no? Sabi po ni Johnson Torrio, dapat nga walang ganyang walang ganyang kalokohan. Mula kay California Love, sabi niya, whoever had that idea needs to be fired. I can play wherever I want as long as I don't have to sign a contract. But rookies asking higher paycheck, it's different team. It's different. can either freeze or trade your rights. Tama naman yan, no? Sabi ni Kong, ipatigil dapat. Mula kay MGL VNGC, this is really a stupid rule, a show of selfishness and insecurity of this league. They are dragging themselves into the mud. Mula naman kay sino ba to? FCML, out! Sabi niya, out! Simple lang. Mula kay Raymond Abaya, stop the draft dodger rule. Mula kay Mark Suba, ibalik na lang yung PBA draft raffle kagaya sa NBA, tapos dapat kahit 18 years old pwede na mag-draft. Mula naman kay Cris, palagay ko kailangan na nilang i-revise na angkop sa panahon ngayon. Mula kay J-Lord, this rule should be scrapped. Ayaw nga nilang magdagdag ng teams. Tapos gusto nila lahat ng players magpa-draft. Mula kay Lotto, kung hindi kagandahan tapos walang nakakagusto sa iyo, dapat bang ipagbawal na magkakagusto sa iba? The PBA seems to be doing what is easy than what is right. Naku, dami pa po ditong nagpadala ng kanilang komentaryo. Pati si Homer sa ison, sabi niya, that archaic rule needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Ako po, again, let me just say my piece on this. Ang draft dodger rule assumes two things. Number one, na magpapadraft yung player. At pangalawa, na umiiwas siya sa isang team o sa draft. Yan po ay mga assumptions na hindi tama. Kaya po, sa akin, may mga bagay na dapat isipin ng PBA. They have to start thinking globally. They cannot talk parochially. At alam naman natin lahat ng mga naglalaro sa ibang bansa ay makakabuti po sa basketball dito sa ating bayan, makakabuti sa PBA pag sila po ay pumasok sa PBA. Kasi sa kaduluduluhan, the PBA, I believe, still is the #1 sports priority in sports property in the Philippines, at sila pa rin ang hahabulin. Huwag silang maghabol. That is the PBA. Yan po ang ating pinagmamalaki. It is up to them na pagandahin ang liga, hindi po takutin ang mga player. Alright, at this point, pinag-uusapan po natin ang basketball. Well, malapit na po ang FIBA Asia Cup qualifier sa June, and one of the teams na pupunta po dyan ay ang Indonesia national team. Ang kanila pong current head coach ngayon ay dating coach ng Gilas Pilipinas, the original coach ng Smart Gilas Pilipinas back in 2008. Siya po ay nag-coach din sa Iran at sa Bahrain at kung saan-saan pa. At siya po ay ating nakausap nung isang gabi tungkol sa kanyang mga pinag-iisipan sa laban ng Indonesia sa qualifier, and of course ang kanyang thoughts on Gilas Pilipinas. Walang iba kung hindi ang ating dating head coach, Coach Rajko Toroman sa Power and Play. Rajko, it's good to see you.
It's nice to see you. Long time.
Very long time.
We didn't see each other.
I know, and the last time I saw you was in the 2019
Asian Games.
SEA Games in Manila, where you came
Yeah,
over, and that was actually the initial time that you were handling the Indonesian national team. So I want to ask you, you're almost 2 years with the team. First of all, how have you adjusted to the life in Indonesia as well as the traffic in Jakarta?
Now in Indonesia, it was the Ramadan and it was not too much basketball things happen. And this is the reason why I am now in Belgrade, and for a few days I will go back and start the preparation for the third windows. And but also I have to say that in Indonesia there is now the playoff start 27 of May, and they will finish June 5, because of the situation with COVID. We couldn't handling the league during all the year. Now we start before Ramadan, 1 month before Ramadan. It was a bubble, and it was each team play 15, 16 games. And after that, after end of the May, we will start with the playoff, quarterfinal, semifinal, and final, and everything will be finished in 10 days. And after that, we will start with the preparation for the windows. But the players who are not in a national team, they will start end of the May, our
Right.
preparation.
All right.
And,
Well, it's clear, Rajko, that basketball's popularity has grown in Indonesia. With the league again restarting, with Indonesia playing in the qualifiers, and of course with Indonesia co-hosting the World Cup. Do you think that there is a big surge in popularity of the sport, and that Indonesia is now on the right track?
But I think that the people from Federation give a lot of efforts to build up the team and build up the basketball on the level what is more competitive to the other best Asian countries. We will host the FIBA Asia in August, and after that we will host also the one of the group for the World Cup. The dream of all Indonesian people is to participating in a World Cup, but FIBA said that we are not good enough, that we have to develop the team to qualify it for the World Cup. That means that we have to be in the first 8 teams in FIBA Asia, which looks easy, but it's very, very difficult because you know that Australia, New Zealand is now, China, Philippines, Iran, Jordan, Lebanon, Japan, Korea. We have to do some big surprise to qualify for the World Cup.
All right.
So the federation put a lot of money in this program. We were working almost 2 years, but we were a little bit stopped by the program with the COVID. We couldn't play enough international games, and we have one also big problem. That's Brandon Javato, who had a surgery 1 month ago, and for sure he will not play on the Windows, but I hope that he will play in FIBA.
All right.
FIBA Asia.
We know that there's so much basketball that is coming to Indonesia, but of course, first things first, you will be playing in Clark for the qualifier. And
Yes.
as you said, the Indonesian team will get back very soon when you go back to Jakarta. So how is the team, Rajko? What is your expectations for the team as you start preparing for the qualifier?
But our expectations are not so big. I said that our best player, Brandon Javato, is injured, which is hurt us a lot. And our expectation is to beat or not to lose more than 14 points against Thailand in this moment. I don't think that in this moment, without Brandon, we can touch the Philippines and Korea. We'll try our best. We will do a lot of efforts. And for me, it's not about to win or to lose against Philippines and Korea. It's the point. The point is to improve, to be more and more competitive. We will play with Leicester Prosper in this. We also try to bring one more naturalized player to have two, to have some competition. And in a case of injury for the FIBA Asia, that we are not staying, because without the big guy, we are small. Without big guy, it will be very difficult to be competitive. But Leicester Prosper will play in Clark, and he will play in a third windows.
Well, you said that Brandon Jowato will not be playing. So who are the players that you are going to be bringing, and perhaps going to be the anchor of the Garuda?
But mostly it will be the players who play on C game with Leicester Prosper. That means that we have two good point guards, Prastava and Hardy. We have domestic players. We have Agassi and Abraham, who is probably the best player without Brandon in Indonesia. We have Arki Visnu, who is experienced and very a very experienced guy and a high quality player. And we have Vincent on the position 5, who will replace Lester Prosper. We also stay without Derek. This is a young kid, which is the biggest prospect, not just in Indonesia, maybe the biggest prospect in Asia. He went to Australia. You remember that we were together in Canberra in
That's right.
Institute of Sport of Australia.
Yes,
He went
yes.
there. He will be there, and next year he will. The Gonzaga University recruited him to play in NCAA. You know, for Indonesian player to play in Gonzaga, that's a big achievement because they have a very strong program. We can say that Sabonis was from this program, who played for Indiana. Hachimura is also Pengos, who played for Zenit in the EuroLeague. A lot of good players coming from this program. And, you know, for us, the most important thing is to qualify for the World Cup, because for 2 years, Derek will be ready to play and to contribute it a lot, because now he is 17 and a half. He will be almost 20. He will be the best age to help the Indonesian national team, and that's the biggest prospect in Indonesia.
Well, of course, you're talking about Derek Michael
Yes,
Sabiero, who is now going to the NBA Global Academy. And, you know, this is really part of the program that you have built, that the Federation in Indonesia has built. It is a program that obviously has long-term goals. There is also talk about recruitment of some young African players, Rajko. Is this true? Is this part of what Indonesia is building for the future?
Yeah. We brought 2 African players from Senegal, but they are just 15 years old, and that's a long-term program, which Indonesia want to. Indonesia have a problem with the big guys. That's for sure. And with these resources, what we have now, you know, we don't have, except Derek, we don't have any big guy who can be competitive in Asia. This is the reason why we try with 2 Senegals. They are good, but we will see. We'll see how it looks later on, because their knowledge is not so high. They're athletic, and we start from zero. They are working every day with our coaches. They will be for the preparation for the windows, but they will not play. Of course, we expect it for 2-3 years that they can be part of the national team.
Are you holding on to Lester Prosper? Do you think that Lester Prosper will go on? What is his status for the national team?
But he will be with us. He's coming back to Jakarta May 27, the same time like me, and he will go for the windows. I told you that we try to find one more American player, to give him a passport and to see if this plays more gel with the team, if he can help more, or it will be Lester. We still didn't decide, but we are trying to do something. Fares, manager of the team, are traveling tomorrow to LA to meet one of the players. We had one option. It was Caleb Wesson. He came to Jakarta, and he was happy, but his family in the end didn't allow him to sign for us. He was a very good option for us. But Lester is staying until end of the FIBA Asia for sure with us. We will see who will play. If we find somebody who will fit us more than Lester, we will go with that. But if this play is not enough, if he don't have enough quality to help us to put us on the next level, Lester is a long time with us, and we will stay and we will keep Lester, and he will play on FIBA Asia.
All right. Well, it's obvious that Indonesia is building for the future. It's building for the World Cup. Hopefully, the team will be there in 2023. On the other hand, the Philippines as well is on a build-up with a young team that will be sent to the FIBA Asia Cup qualifier. And I know, Rajko, that you are a student of the game. I know that you follow every development of basketball wherever you go and all over the world. And what is your assessment of this all-cadets team that the Philippines will be sending to the FIBA Asia Cup qualifier?
I don't know exactly who will play, but I told one time that I was very surprised with the quality of the team who play on the second windows in Bahrain. These kids are excellent. These kids are very athletic, very talented. Maybe they don't have experience like a pro players, but they have a quality. That's amazing team. You know, that's a future of Philippine basketball. I think they are on the level of pro players. I was really impressed, and I was really surprised with the level of the team and how they play. They play with a lot of confidence, like they are 10 years in a PBA. You know, that was amazing. They beat Thailand easily 2 times with a big margin. And I think this team had a future. This team with Kai Soto and few other guys, I don't know, what's the name of the naturalist player from Ateneo?
Angelo Kwame.
Kwame, with Kai Soto, and with these kids, young kids, I think that's a very competitive team in Asia.
You know, you started this program back in 2008. It was the ambition, it was the goal to build a young core back then using collegiate players and building them up with a naturalized player, and of course, eventually with some PBA players. Do you see, shades of what you did back then? And of course, do you think that it is still better to have PBA players support this young crew, or will this young crew be enough for the future?
I am very happy that Philippine basketball is returning back on a system what we did, me and you, together. That I think that's the best for the Philippine national team, to have a lot of young players, a lot of prospects, maybe like we did in that time, to put 2 or 3 really great PBA players in the team. But I think that mostly must be young kids with Kai Soto, with Wame, who are hungry, who are crazy to make something, to exposure themselves in Asia. I think that's the best program what Philippines in this moment can do.
All right. Talking about Kai Soto, he is on his way to the NBL in Australia. What are your thoughts about that, Rajko? I know that you've seen some of the tape of Kai. Do you think that was a good move for Kai Soto moving over to the Adelaide 49ers?
I think that it was a great move. In my opinion, it was a great move. Because I think that the G League is too strong for this moment for Kai Soto. He's not enough athletic for the G League. And G League is a specific league. I was watching a lot of games looking for the players. That was it's a league of the small players, you know, because everybody of them are looking for the NBA contract, and they don't give the ball to the big guys too much. But Australian league is a great league. I can see some games here on my TV here in Serbia, some games from Australia. Let's say David Anderson is still playing, you know, David Anderson who played for Houston.
Yeah.
That's a very strong league with excellent domestic players, with the not highest level of American, but very good American, very good. And I think that was the best move in this moment for Kai Soto, you know, to try to find the confidence in this kind of the league. Very strong, very good big guys, and I think best move of Kai Soto. He didn't play probably 1 year. He will need the time, but that's a very competitive league. Great
You
move.
know, well, the Adelaide 36ers, I must say, is really a very good team. They have a player that is projected to go in the first round in the coming NBA draft, and obviously it's a very good program. Of course, the other part of that, Coach Rajko, is that there are many Filipinos now that are starting to explore other options outside of the PBA. Thirdy Ravenna is playing in in Japan, and of course, Kobe Paras has decided to go back to the US. Do you think that this is a boost? This will be a boost for Philippine basketball, and in fact, even for the PBA when these players come back?
I think yes. That's if they are playing in a strong league like in Australia or in Japan. Let's say Thirdy Ravenna extended his contract for next 2 or 3 years. You know, I have to say he has a Serbian coach.
Yeah, no, I know. Yes, that's right.
And Serbian players who are playing for them. This season was not so great, but Thirdy was hurt in some part of the season. But he is extremely athletic player, and this experience in Japan will help him to go on the next level and help the national team. Even in a second windows, he was the best player of national team against us. He scored, I think, 23 points, something like that, and that's the best. I don't think that the move of Paras will be that great, because only where you can play is G League and NBA. If you cannot be the main guy, you know, and if you are sitting on the bench, he will not get anything from that. Otherwise, individual practice is okay, you know, but for 1 month, not for the full season, you know, because you have to play. Without playing, you cannot improve. And Paras is a lot of controversy I can read, you know, is with Paras, with his move, ambition. If his potential in the beginning and ambition were higher than really quality of Paras, I think that Thirdy and Kai Soto made a better move going to Japan and Australia.
Okay, you know, yan po mga kaibigan ang panayam natin kay Coach Rajko Toroman, ang head coach ng Indonesian national team, dating coach po ng Gilas Pilipinas. Very outspoken sa kanyang mga opinion, but certainly a voracious reader, voracious follower ng ng basketball, at napakarami ang kanya. Sabi pa niya, naghahanda na talaga ang Belgrade sa OQT, kung saan, well, hopefully ang magandang ating ipapakita sa Olympic qualifying tournament. Well, marami po salamat sa lahat ng ating mga naging panauhin. Bago tayo magtapos, gusto ko lang pong batiin ng isang happy birthday ang aking mga kaibigan, si John Arnaldo, aking kaibigan, kaklase sa Ateneo, at ang aking mga kaklase naman sa Lasal, si Larry Lebron, Ron Camaysa, at si Bengoy del Rosario. Happy birthday, guys. sabay-sabayan ha, popogi. Kaya ang popogi ninyo eh. Gusto ko rin pong batiin ng nagpapabati po ang aking kaibigan si Al Noel ng isang happy fiesta sa Balay City. Ngayon po ay kapistahan ng San Isidro Labrador, patron saint ng Balay mula kay paring Al Noel. Happy fiesta rin daw po mula kay Jovita Quizon para daw sa kanyang anak na si Jessie Quizon at Angela Maslog Caber. Kamusta kay Ramil Salceda ng Tokyo, Japan, Marlene Papuran mula sa Hong Kong, and of course happy birthday kay Risa Perez, ang may bahay po ni Doc Aga Mohe. Alright mga kaibigan, dyan po tayo nagtatapos ngayong Sabado ng umaga. Marami pong salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagtutok sa Power and Play. Magsama-sama ulit tayo next week. Susunod na po sa amin dito sa 1PH, inay ko po. Lagi po natin sinasabi tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit, at sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat. More power, more play. Happy Sports Weekend, mga kapatid.